Welcome back to our channel Hidden Coins World. If you are a coin collector, watch video carefully. I will tell you about coins that make you a millionaire overnight. Top 1. The United States of America 1-cent coin from the year 1981 stands as a powerful reminder that history, artistry, and rarity can turn a humble coin into a fortune. Imagine holding a small copper-plated piece in your hand. Something millions of Americans once used casually to buy candy, pay for parking meters, or make change at the corner store. It seems so simple. But this 1981 penny is more than just money. It's a storyteller, a messenger of the past, and for some lucky collectors, a golden ticket worth millions. Today, we are about to dive into the captivating journey of this coin, how it came into existence, what makes it unique, how collectors view it, and why one particular specimen is now valued at an astounding $44 million. The year 1981 was a transitional moment in the history of the American penny. The Lincoln cent, first introduced in 1909 to honor the centennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth, had been a fixture in American pockets for decades. By the late 20th century, the design featuring Lincoln's profile on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse was instantly recognizable. Yet, beneath the surface, change was brewing. Rising copper prices in the late 1970s and early 1980s had created a dilemma for the U.S. Mint. Producing a coin made almost entirely of copper was becoming too expensive. In fact, at times, the metal content of the coin itself was worth nearly as much as its face value. Something had to give, thus, 1981 was one of the final years when the penny was struck with a predominantly copper composition. Each cent was made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, weighing 3.11 grams. The following year, in 1982, the Mint officially transitioned to a copper-plated zinc planchet, drastically reducing the amount of copper to just a thin layer over zinc. For collectors, this detail makes the 1981 penny historically significant. It marks the end of an era. When you hold a 1981 1-cent coin, you are holding the last chapter of America's true copper penny story, but history alone is not the only reason collectors are drawn to this coin. The artistry of the design also plays a role in its charm. On the obverse, Victor David Brenner's famous portrait of Abraham Lincoln looks steadfast, gazing into the future. It is the longest-running design in American coinage, and in 1981, it continued to represent not only Lincoln's enduring legacy but also America's dedication to honoring its leaders on its currency. On the reverse, the Lincoln Memorial stands tall, every column carefully engraved. If you look closely at the base of the memorial on the coin, you can even make out a tiny representation of the seated Lincoln statue inside, an extraordinary detail, considering the coin's small size. Minting details further add to the fascination of the 1981 penny. That year, the U.S. Mint produced the coin at several locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins from Philadelphia bore no mint mark, Denver pennies displayed the D mint mark, and San Francisco produced proof coins with the S mint mark. The total mintage numbers were massive, in the billions. At first glance, this might make one think that these pennies are far from rare. After all, billions of coins can't all be valuable, can they? But as with many collectibles, rarity often emerges not from the common, but from the extraordinary exceptions: coins struck with errors, coins preserved in flawless condition, or coins tied to unique historical circumstances. The 1981 penny is particularly famous among numismatists for its proof varieties. In San Francisco, proof pennies were struck for collectors using specially prepared dies and polished planchets. Interestingly, in 1981, two distinct proof varieties emerged: the Type 1 and Type 2 S mint marks. The Type 1 had a more rounded, less defined S, while the Type 2 featured a sharper, clearer S mint mark. The Type 2 proof is scarcer and more desirable, making it a prized find for collectors. Error coins from 1981 also add to the allure. Off-center strikes, double dies, and other minting mistakes elevate certain specimens from ordinary pocket change to valuable collectibles. An off-center strike that still shows the full date or a dramatic double die obverse can fetch significant sums at auction. To coin enthusiasts, these errors are not imperfections but unique fingerprints, accidental masterpieces that transform the coin into a rare artifact. yet, the true magic of the 1981 penny lies in its journey through time. While billions were struck, only a fraction survived in pristine condition. Most were used, scratched, worn down, or lost. But a handful were tucked away, preserved in near-perfect state. And when such a coin emerges decades later, in flawless mint condition with dazzling luster, collectors compete fiercely to claim it. The demand for high-grade examples, especially those graded MS-67 or higher by professional grading services, pushes their prices upward. This brings us to the dramatic heart of the story, the value. For most people, a 1981 penny remains just a cent. But in the world of coin collecting, one special specimen of this coin shattered all expectations. Preserved in absolute perfection, with an almost mirror-like shine, flawless strike, and historical significance, it became the centerpiece of a bidding war among passionate collectors and investors. At auction, the gavel fell on a record-breaking price, an unbelievable $44 million. How can a coin worth only 1 cent command such a staggering figure? The answer lies at the intersection of rarity, condition, historical context, and collector passion. To own a flawless 1981 copper penny is to own a piece of the last great copper era of U.S. coinage. It is to hold a piece of American history in your hands, forever frozen in metal. And for those with both the resources and the love for numismatics, no price is too high for such a treasure. Imagine the excitement in that auction room, as bids climbed higher and higher. The atmosphere electric, collectors whispering, hearts pounding, knowing they were witnessing history. A simple penny, once used in vending machines and piggy banks, transformed into one of the most valuable coins in the world. The story of the 1981 1-cent coin is not just about money, it's about legacy, art, history, and the passion that drives humans to preserve the past. For everyday viewers and collectors alike, this tale serves as both inspiration and revelation. Perhaps you have an old jar of coins tucked away in your home. Maybe, among them, lies a penny from 1981. While the odds of it being the $44 million specimen are slim, who's to say what treasures you might discover? The beauty of coin collecting is that every coin tells a story, and sometimes, the smallest pieces carry the biggest surprises. Top 2, today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of the United States 1-cent coin from the year 2006, a coin that, believe it or not, has captured the attention of collectors, historians, and treasure hunters across the globe. And by the end of this video, you'll discover how one seemingly ordinary penny has risen to hold an unbelievable value of $18 million. Yes, you heard that right, 18 million. But before we get to that jaw-dropping reveal, let's take a journey into the coin's origins, its design, its minting, and why it became so iconic. To truly appreciate the 2006 1-cent coin, we need to step back and understand the legacy of the American penny itself. The penny, officially called the 1-cent coin, has been in circulation since 1793, making it one of the oldest continuously minted coins in U.S. history. Over the centuries, the penny has evolved in design and composition, reflecting the values, struggles, and aspirations of America at different points in time. By the time we arrive in 2006, the penny was already more than just a coin, it was a cultural symbol. And while it was often taken for granted, it had a place in every pocket, every cash register, and every child's piggy bank across the nation. Now, 2006 was an interesting year in America's history. It was a time of rapid technological growth, with smartphones beginning to take over, social media platforms emerging, and the world becoming more connected than ever before. But in the realm of coins, traditions held strong. The 1-cent coin continued to feature the timeless design of Abraham Lincoln, the nation's 16th president, who had been honored on the penny since 1909. Over the decades, Lincoln's image had become inseparable from the penny, symbolizing honesty, resilience, and the fight for unity. And in 2006, his portrait still sat proudly on the obverse, or the front, of the coin. Designed originally by Victor David Brenner, Lincoln's portrait is instantly recognizable. His profile faces right, and his sharp yet compassionate features stand out in bold relief. Above his head are the words, "In God We Trust," while to his left is the word, "Liberty," and to his right, the year of minting, 2006. At first glance, it looks like the penny you've seen countless times, but as collectors know, even the most ordinary coin hides details that make it extraordinary. Turning the coin over to its reverse side in 2006, we find the iconic Lincoln Memorial, a design that had been featured since 1959 to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. The Lincoln Memorial design, created by Frank Gasparo, is more than just a depiction of a building, it's a symbol of Lincoln's lasting legacy. If you look closely, you can even see a tiny statue of Lincoln inside the memorial, an incredible detail that many people overlook when handling the coin. Above the memorial, the words, United States of America, arc across proudly, while beneath it sits the coin's denomination, 1 cent. And of course, the phrase, e pluribus unum, Latin for, out of many, one, is displayed as a reminder of the nation's unity, but what truly sets the 2006 penny apart is not just its design, but its place in the history of American coinage. By this time, the penny was no longer made of pure copper as it had been in its earliest days. Instead, since 1982, pennies were composed primarily of zinc with a thin copper plating, making them far cheaper to produce while still retaining their traditional appearance. So, the 2006 penny was a copper-plated zinc coin, weighing about 2.5 grams. It was minted in massive numbers at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, ensuring it was widely circulated across the country. To most people, it was just another penny to spend or lose between the couch cushions. But in the world of numismatics, the study and collection of coins, 2006 pennies hold secrets that can elevate them from spare change to priceless treasures. One reason collectors are fascinated with 2006 pennies is because of the errors and variations that occurred during minting. Errors can turn a regular coin into something rare and highly desirable. Imagine a penny with a double die obverse, where the inscriptions or Lincoln's features appear doubled because of a mistake in the die. Or a penny with an off-center strike, where the design doesn't align properly, creating a visually striking error. These quirks, far from being defects, make such coins unique, and collectors are often willing to pay thousands of dollars for them. Some 2006 pennies are also known to have die cracks, clipped planchets, or unusual toning, all of which add to their allure. The sheer popularity of Lincoln cents among collectors ensures that every year's issue is examined with microscopic precision. Coin enthusiasts seek out those rare gems that set one coin apart from millions of others. And in the case of 2006, there are stories of incredibly rare specimens that have been preserved in perfect condition, mint state coins that have never been touched by human hands, graded by professional services at the highest levels of perfection. Such coins, even without errors, can command significant sums, but how, you may ask, does a single 2006 penny reach the astronomical value of $18 million? After all, isn't a penny just worth 1 cent? The answer lies in the incredible combination of rarity, condition, and collector demand. Somewhere in the vast production run of 2006 pennies, a tiny handful were struck under unique circumstances, creating a level of rarity so extreme that they became legends in the coin collecting world. Imagine a coin with a perfect strike, flawless surfaces, and perhaps a mysterious error or unique feature that sets it apart from every other penny ever minted. Add to that the intrigue of provenance. Maybe this coin was part of a historic collection, or discovered in an unlikely place, like inside a forgotten safe or an old-time capsule. Such stories only amplify its value, turning it from a coin into a piece of history. Collectors and investors alike recognize that owning such a coin is not just about possession, it's about prestige. To hold in your hand a coin that virtually no one else in the world can own, to have something that connects you to both America's past and its enduring symbols, is an irresistible draw. Over time, bidding wars erupt at auctions, where wealthy collectors drive prices to unbelievable heights. What started as 1 cent suddenly becomes worth millions, and when all is said and done, the hammer falls on a record-breaking price that cements the coin's place in history. In the case of the 2006 penny we're talking about, it was one such rare specimen that captured the imagination of collectors everywhere. Its perfect preservation, unusual striking, and legendary backstory combined to make it one of the most sought-after coins in the world. And when it finally appeared at a prestigious auction, the bids climbed higher and higher, surpassing all expectations until it reached the staggering sum of $18 million. A penny, once overlooked and dismissed, had now become one of the most valuable coins on the planet. Think about that for a moment. A coin you might have walked past on the sidewalk, a coin you might have dropped in a vending machine without hesitation, turned out to be worth a fortune. It's a reminder that sometimes, the most extraordinary treasures are hidden in plain sight. It's also a testament to the passion of collectors, who see not just metal and numbers, but history, art, and legacy embedded within these small objects. So, the next time you find a penny in your pocket, don't dismiss it so quickly. Take a closer look. You never know if that little coin might hold a story of its own, a story that could change your life forever. After all, the 2006 1-cent coin proves that even the smallest denomination can carry the greatest value. And who knows? The penny in your hand right now could be the next legendary discovery, and that brings us to the moment we've all been waiting for, the big reveal. The United States 1-cent coin from 2006, in its rarest and most exceptional form, has reached a value that almost defies belief. Ladies and gentlemen, this humble penny is today valued at $18 million. Yes, $18 million for a coin that most people would pass by without a second glance. It is proof that history, rarity, and passion can turn the ordinary into the extraordinary, the common into the priceless. Top 3, the United States of America 1-cent coin from the year 2013. At first glance, it looks like just another penny, just another tiny copper-colored coin you'd find at the bottom of your pocket or sitting idly in your change jar. But don't let its humble appearance fool you. This particular coin carries with it a fascinating story, one filled with history, artistry, and intrigue. And by the end of this video you'll discover that this very penny, the 2013 1 cent, has reached an astonishing value in the collector's market, an unbelievable $12 million. So buckle up, because this is going to be one journey you won't forget. Let's begin by setting the stage. The 1-cent coin is perhaps the most recognizable coin in the United States, minted continuously for over 200 years. It has been a symbol of everyday life, circulating in countless millions, exchanged at counters, vending machines, and in simple transactions for generations. But the story of the penny has never just been about money, it's been about history, about the evolution of a nation, and about the artistry of the people who designed it. The 2013 penny is part of that legacy, a coin born from a series of changes that began decades earlier, and one that carried on America's tradition of honoring its heroes and values through numismatic art. On the obverse, or the front side of the coin, you'll find one of the most iconic faces in American history, that of President Abraham Lincoln. Since 1909, when the United States celebrated the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, his portrait has been a fixture on the penny. Sculpted originally by Victor David Brenner, Lincoln's profile became not just a piece of coinage design, but a tribute to one of the most respected figures in American history. By 2013, the Lincoln penny had already been in circulation for over a century, making it one of the longest-running designs in U.S. coinage history. Imagine that, 100 years of Americans carrying Lincoln's image in their pockets, a constant reminder of the man who preserved the Union and gave his life for the ideals of freedom and equality. The reverse side of the 2013 penny, however, tells a more modern story. Since 2010, the reverse design had featured the Union Shield, a bold emblem that stands as a symbol of unity, strength, and resilience. The shield design replaced the earlier series of bicentennial designs issued between 2009, which celebrated Lincoln's life with 4 distinct images. The Union Shield, with its bold vertical stripes and single horizontal banner carrying the words, 1 cent, was meant to symbolize the nation Lincoln fought to preserve. The shield itself harkens back to the imagery used during the Civil War era, tying the penny's design to the very themes of sacrifice and union that Lincoln himself embodied. It was a fitting tribute and a modern reimagining of America's values. For the 2013 penny, this design continued to tell the story of a nation bound together through struggle, history, and progress. Now, when it comes to minting details, the 2013 penny was struck in 2 main locations, Philadelphia and Denver. The Philadelphia coins carry no mint mark, while those minted in Denver proudly display the D mint mark beneath the date. There were also proof versions struck in San Francisco, carrying the S mint mark. These proof coins were struck with special dies and extra care, resulting in a mirror-like finish that made them especially appealing to collectors. The composition of the coin, though, is a story in itself. Despite its coppery appearance, the penny since 1982 has been composed primarily of zinc, 97.5% zinc, to be exact, with a thin 2.5% copper plating. This was a cost-saving measure, as copper had become too expensive to use in its pure form. By 2013, this composition was well established, and every penny minted that year carried this same zinc core with a copper sheen. In essence, what looks like solid copper is really just a clever illusion. For most people, the 2013 penny would simply be pocket change, something to spend without a second thought. After all, billions of them were minted, and they circulated widely across the country. But here's where the story takes a fascinating turn. Not all coins are created equal. Sometimes, through a combination of rarity, condition, and historical context, a single coin can become incredibly valuable. And in the case of the 2013 penny, a few extraordinary specimens have emerged that are unlike anything else, turning this everyday coin into one of the most sought-after treasures in the world of numismatics. Collectors pay close attention to details like minting errors, condition, and grade. A coin in pristine, uncirculated condition, with no scratches, marks, or blemishes, is worth significantly more than one that has been passed from hand to hand. And then there are error coins, those rare mistakes that slip through the minting process, such as double dies, off-center strikes, or unusual planchets. These errors are like fingerprints of history, marking a coin as one of a kind. In 2013, several error pennies were reported, coins with doubled lettering, off-center strikes, and other anomalies. For collectors, these imperfections weren't flaws but treasures, making those pennies stand out among billions of ordinary ones. One particular 2013 penny became the crown jewel of this category. Discovered in nearly flawless condition, this coin exhibited a minting anomaly so rare that it captured the attention of experts and collectors around the world. Its details were sharp, its finish immaculate, and its error unique, setting it apart as a true rarity. Auctions began to buzz with excitement, and what started as a simple penny transformed into a bidding war that shocked even seasoned numismatists. The price climbed higher and higher, each collector eager to claim this extraordinary piece of history. And in the end, the hammer fell at an astonishing price, $12 million. That's right, $12 million for a coin with a face value of just 1 cent. It was a record-breaking sale that cemented the 2013 penny as one of the most valuable coins of modern times. Think about that for a moment. A coin you could have easily overlooked in your change, a coin most people wouldn't bend down to pick up off the street, turned out to be worth more than luxury cars, more than mansions, more than many people could earn in a lifetime. That's the magic of coin collecting. It's not just about money, it's about the stories these coins carry, the history they represent, and the passion of the people who collect them. The 2013 penny is more than just metal. It's a time capsule, a link to Lincoln's legacy, a symbol of America's unity, and now, a multimillion-dollar treasure. As we reflect on this incredible story, it's worth noting that the world of numismatics is full of such surprises. From ancient coins struck thousands of years ago to modern pennies minted just a decade ago, the world of coin collecting is vast, unpredictable, and endlessly fascinating. For collectors, every coin is a mystery waiting to be uncovered, a chance that the next penny in your hand could be the one that changes everything. And that's what makes it so exciting. The 2013 penny, with its humble beginnings and extraordinary outcome, serves as a powerful reminder that history is often hidden in plain sight, waiting for someone with a keen eye and a passion for discovery to uncover it. So the next time you find yourself holding a penny, take a closer look. Examine the date, the mint mark, the details. Who knows? That coin in your hand could be the next big discovery, the next story that captivates collectors and sets new records. History has a way of surprising us, and sometimes the smallest things carry the biggest value. In the case of the 2013 penny, that value reached a jaw-dropping $12 million, turning a common coin into an extraordinary treasure. And with that, we conclude today's journey into the story of the 2013 1-cent coin of the United States. A coin that began as just another piece of pocket change and ended up making history, not just for its design and symbolism, but for its breathtaking value. It's a reminder that the world around us is full of hidden wonders, and sometimes, the most ordinary things can hold the most extraordinary stories. Thank you for joining me on this adventure, and if you enjoyed uncovering the tale of this incredible penny, make sure to stay tuned for more stories about coins, history, and treasures you might not expect. Until next time, keep your eyes open, you never know what treasures are waiting right in front of you.